step 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So yeah, a couple issues with that wording, I guess. Restore us to sanity. I don't look at it as a problem of insanity at all. I look at it as quite a logical adaptation to a difficult problem that is extremely effective in the short term, but poorly effective in the long term.
Yeah.
And I mean, this might be, the understanding of mental health when this was written was a lot different, right?
For sure.
And then, of course, the power greater than yourself. I think that's a pretty easy thing to understand as far as, you can still look at it from a secular view in that could be a group of people. It could be one person. It could be a rock. It could be a tree. It doesn't really matter as long as you believe that there's something out there that can help you. And I think that's kind of what the statement is generally getting at, right?
Yeah, and that statement has since opened up a lot in the last, probably in more recent years, that to accept other faiths and other belief systems, and it's not as narrow as it probably was when this was invented, for sure.
Exactly. So already you can see the difference that it would make between somebody who was, say, an atheist and somebody who's got a real strong base in whatever religion. Let's use Christianity as an example. You got a lot of faith in that belief system. Then I think it would be much easier to, kind of just throw your hands in the air and say, okay, yeah, no, I understand. I can't do this on my own. And I also believe that God can help me with this. And so that's a pretty straightforward kind of look at the problem from that point of view, right?
Yeah, but if you were atheist or non-Christian 50 or 60 years ago, that step 3 could have been a stopping point for you right there. Like, you weren't getting too far into the program before you could have hit a pretty major roadblock potentially in your progress through the program.
Right. So step 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of, if you're an atheist, that's kind of the end of the road as far as
it kind of is, right?
Yeah. I don't know how you reconcile that, although there must be some workaround there, because there's a such thing as 12 steps for atheists, right?
Yes. Yeah. So that's part of the program has evolved in more recent years, for sure.
I haven't looked into that very much. What do you know what they do about that? Do they kind of replace God with the group, or?
Well, the phrasing that I've read is, turning control over to a higher power, whatever that looks like for you. But I think there has to be it kind of comes back to powerlessness, that there has to be the acceptance of a universal force that is beyond the individual.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could look at it as simply as, I turn my life and my will over to my doctor.
Sure.
Sure. I don't know what to do about this cancer, so I'm trusting my oncologist to know best, and whatever the oncologist says, I'm going to do.
Sure.
You can look at it like that, I suppose.